Hey guys, welcome back. So this video is just coming off the tail end of the oil change. It's the cabin air filter and engine air filter change video. This one's just about as basic as the engine oil. I just thought I would show you kind of what I got going on with my setup. And like I was saying in the intro video, at least this particular year, truck doesn't have a cabin air filter built in. So I'm going to show you exactly where you got to cut out to install the K&N air filter, or you can use like Fram, or I think, well, you could buy a Mopar one, I guess. But we'll get into that. I'll show you the $30 K&N air intake that I have. I got a link in the description for an Amazon one, and it's reusable. So just think about all the air filters you're going to blow through. Blow through changing the stock air, every other oil change or whatever. This one you just pop it off and use the washable products here, spray the oil on it, and Bob's your uncle, Mary's your aunt. So yeah, let's get into it here. I'll show you what I got going on in my truck. So we're inside the truck now, the front engine bay here, and I just wanted to show you my air filter. This is what I've got going on in my truck. So I mean, I'm not saying this is pretty by any stretch of the imagination. I just did this setup because it's way cheaper and it's reusable. I didn't like throwing the air filters out every other oil change or whatever the interval is. So your truck should have the 3-inch pipe should come down into the housing where it lays flat, and then you've got your flat filter. You just pop your clips or your screws and change your filter. It's really simple. This one here, like I said, if you click the link below, you can buy it on Amazon. Reusable, and they work really good. So you just pick up the oil for it and the cleaner, and then you clean it every oil change. I clean it every oil change anyways, so I know I got good filtration. So yeah, we'll just go ahead and take this worm gear off. I'll clean it, and then I'll show you guys inside of the cab where you got to cut out to insert the cabin air filter, because on this 2014, like I said, there's a little slit that you have to take an X-Acto knife and cut. So let's go have a look at that now. Okay guys, so we're in the passenger seat here. The camera is literally sitting on the seat. So here's your compartment, like I was saying. You got to push these tabs in. It rolls out. Watch all your stuff. This gets removed just like so. Yeah, so once you get the door open and you have a look up in here, you'll see right here, this is the actual filter. Alright, so you have to take an X-Acto knife, like I was saying, and actually cut this door out. Okay, it seems pretty sketchy, and it is, but you cut that out, and then you go ahead go in the description, you buy the K&N air filter, and you just slide it right in there, and then I don't know which way I'm not sure which way the blower goes, this way or that way, but then the filter actually works, and you don't have a bunch of dirt and debris blowing in your face. So yeah, go ahead and do that, and then pick up the cleaner for the cabin air filter. There's 2 different ones you can get, and then yeah, you'll be good to go. All right, so once you've actually got the filter out, which if you have one, that's great, but if not, so you're going to buy it, insert it, and now you're ready to clean it. So you can tell how much, hopefully you guys can see that. I'll try and get a real close-up of it, just to show you kind of what, take a look at that. So if you don't have the cabin air filter, all that shit is literally blowing into the cabin. Like that's what's catching on my truck anyways. So I had a viewer comment that the 2017, I believe you said, came with the filter, which is great, but my 14 didn't, so I had to go out and purchase that. So highly recommend you purchase that, and then you're just going to go ahead with the cleaner. Right, so that's the refresher, cabin refresher, so that goes on after. Then you want to get this spray bottle here. Oh, she's leaking. Cabin air filter cleaner, right? So I just spray that down, just like with all filters, you want to push the dirt out. So I can see a bunch of dirt and debris on this side, so I'm going to go inside the house and actually shoot the water from this side, right? Just going to run it underneath it. Got an old a sink, a laundry sink, you know. Just going to shoot the water this way. That'll shoot all the dirt out, most of it. And then I'll let it air dry, and we'll reinsert it. Try and put it in the same way it came out. So I know mine came out like this, with the dirt on top. So I guess the blower in that case does blow down, because all the dirt's getting caught this way. Alright, so we're back at the engine bay here. I'm just getting ready to take the air intake off, the engine air filter. So just like I was saying, it's just a worm gear. You can use a socket if you like. I find the flathead works just as good. It's kind of a tight squeeze with what I got going on, but there we go. Just gotta separate it. And there she is in all her glory. I mean, you can see all the goodies hanging off that. So yeah, we'll bring that over to the bench. We'll have a look at it. All right, yes, we're back here. So yeah, I lied all along. It is a K&N that I have. I remember I originally bought one from Canadian Tire. So the one in the description is the one you're looking at. Pretty sure, anyhow. So yeah, I've had that one for, I guess, not as long as I thought, but it's definitely, it's made its money. I think it basically pays for itself, well, just about the first time or possibly the second time. So this one, because this is the engine side, you got to get these guys here, okay? So one's going to be the cleaner, which air filter cleaner, that's this guy here. Alright, so we'll take that. I just basically spray it down. I'll just go all the way around the filter, spray it in. I can spray the inside too. And just like with the cabin air filter, I'll take this inside. The dirt's trapped on this side, so that means I'll pour the water this way, right through here, okay? And then that'll push the dirt out of the air filter. And then this one, I let it dry pretty, like, you know, I'll give it at least an hour before I install it again. If you're not going to be using your truck for, like, say if you did this during the day and then overnight you let it sit, it should dry just fine. You know, the only thing is you don't really want it to, you know, you don't want to reinstall it wet and then go out on the highway and be hauling in a bunch of water. That's obviously not very smart. So, okay, let's go ahead and I'll give these a rinse. I probably won't do that on camera, but yeah, I'm just going to run basically tap water straight through, rotate this, try and get as much of this debris out as I can, and then I'll bring it back to the bench. Okay, so like I said, I'm not using my truck for another day or so, so I'm going to go ahead and put this back in. Just sits right back there. Like, honestly, these filters are so much easier than the stock ones. Like, it speeds everything up. Hardest part's getting the worm gear back on. Alright, so she's tight. Make sure I can't pull it off. Then what I'll do every time I check the oil, you know, every 5,000 or something, I'll just go ahead and rotate that. Depending on which way most of the air comes in, it should be all equal, but yeah, so I'll rotate that every so often. I basically clean it and oil it every oil change. So let's get back into the passenger seat here and we'll do the cabin air filter next. Alright, so we're back in the passenger seat here. I've got my filter, and like I was saying, once you've cut that hole out, you should be able to take that filter and just jam it right back in there. Sometimes it's a bit of a peckerhead, you gotta, there you go, wiggle her in there and it more or less just sits up there like that. You can buy the doors so you can actually clip it closed, but what I was finding is the door, actually, when I put the blower on high, it was making a really high pitched wisping sound, and it was really annoying, like really annoying. So I just took the door off and I tried it without the door, and it just worked like normal. So to hell with the door. And this is easy. You just pull it out, change it, away you go. This concludes the air intake and the cabin air filter modification, I guess. You gotta mod your own filter in, I guess, with the early model years. So yeah, I strongly suggest you guys at least get that cabin air filter, like I was showing you. A lot of shit comes flying through that blower, so you want to catch it. And then if you want to make maintenance even easier on yourself, you can go ahead and pick up that K&N. It's not a cold air intake because it's just drawing atmospheric engine temperature air in. But you know, it's really simple to maintain. Like, it pays for itself, like I said, pretty much instantly. Is it better filtration? I'm not sure. I've heard really good filtration numbers from the Mopar filter, but like I have 200,000 and I've had no issues with my turbocharger or anything like that. So, you know, I'm going to keep using it. I'll probably change it every 150, I don't know, something like it. It's probably not a lifetime kind of thing, but it looks pretty much the same as day one, so I'm going to keep rocking with it. And yeah, other than that, just going to keep moving down the list here. So that was the air intakes, and I think next up for my truck anyways, I've got to address I'll probably go into the rear diff. So keep an eye out for that video. Okay guys? If you have an ecodiesel or even a hemi, really, a lot of these items apply to all 1500 Rams. Yeah, consider subscribing. If you have any questions or want to leave a comment, go ahead and do that. I'll watch them and I'll try to respond if I've got an answer anyways. And if I don't have an answer, well, you'll have to find it elsewhere. Alright, take care guys.